Stay tuned for today's Antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Today's Antidote features a healthy dose of thought-provoking insights and information for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and nonprofit professionals. Each day since March of 2020, this program has offered that one thing to help you continue on your own unique pathway to success. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Brush.
Oops. Sorry, I was sleeping there.
Tom?
There we
go. Okay, if you're listening, Tom had a little glitch there, and I couldn't see myself doing my gyrations. And if I can't see myself, why do them?
Yes, I hit the wrong. I was thinking about what I was going to say, and I forgot to shift screens. So that's
I've learned that if I don't think about what I'm going to say, it works much more enjoyably.
Okay, that's one way to.
I think I bear that out every episode.
Fair enough.
Good morning, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing today?
I'm well. It's a crazy Friday. I'm on the back porch. It's enclosed, but the wind is blowing, and I'm watching lots of things fly by because it's also recycling day. So in addition to the leaves and yard debris, we also have newspapers and magazines and cereal boxes, and all the important things are flying away.
I made the choice not to put out our recycles today for that fact. So
you are a wise man, and apparently you are in the minority.
Yes, probably. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Antidote, our daily broadcast and podcast, where we have a conversation around a topic. This week's topic has been the Renegade 4 Fs. And at the end of the show, we'll provide our one thing, all right, today's Antidote, to help you move forward and figure out your next steps. So if you would like to add some thoughts to the conversation, please feel free to put them in the comments. If you are watching this on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. If you are listening to the podcast, please feel free to rate this show.
5 stars.
You're good with that cue. And if you find value in it, please feel free to share with others so that they might be looking for exactly what we were talking about. So let us dive into the way we start every show, and that is with celebrations. Bob, what are you celebrating today?
I'm going to celebrate the fact that someone that is doing our 6-week day pack program, Finding Your Renegade Way in 6 weeks, I believe is what we called it, right? Find. What is it?
Find Success, the Renegade Way.
That's it. I remember naming it, but I don't remember it. Anyway, I saw a comment last night on Facebook on someone who said it was really helping them better manage their day, which is just awesome. Couldn't be more excited about that. Love when the work you and I do helps other people. We knew it was helping us. We saw it help some people, but this is really just great news.
Yeah, absolutely. I think not only is it helping her with her day, but it's helping her move things forward quicker than I think she expected, and maybe in a more focused way. So, yeah, that's awesome. I saw that as well and was excited to see that someone else was getting results. So that's a great thing for you to celebrate.
I thought you'd like that one.
Absolutely. So it's interesting. My celebration is all week we've been talking about the 4 Fs, and one of the 4 Fs is flexibility, as you, I think, know.
I do. Focus, flexibility, freedom, fun.
Correct. And, so not only I think I've shared in this show that I officiate women's and girls lacrosse, but I also assign some events. So that means I find officials and put them on the field and make sure that there's officials on each field. And, we're sitting here today with a weekend tournament and there's rain, which is going to have an influence because there are a lot of grass fields. And what's great is the people who I assign, who I work with, are very flexible. So they're sitting out there today not knowing, they have a schedule and they know that there's a good likelihood that it will change. And they are willing to accept that things are going to change and they may have to work at different times, at different locations. Maybe some of them will work Sunday when they only thought they were going to work Saturday. And so I really appreciate that willingness for them to be flexible. And I think the organization that I work with appreciates the fact that I'm flexible to know things sometimes change. And, because of things that are usually out of our control. So how do we figure out how to be flexible enough to then be able to manage when those things happen? So that's my celebration for today.
I like it. Can't control the weather, can you?
No, although there are people who think I can. I'm not sure why. I definitely do not.
I did not know that. So on your resume, what does it say? Practicing weather manager or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, because it's funny. They always say, thanks. I've had people say, well, thanks for ordering up such great weather. I'm like, I have no control over that. It just so happens that the day turned out to be a nice day. So what are we celebrating in the nation today?
Hey, this is a big one for me personally because it touches my life almost every morning.
More than chocolate day? Oh, wait a minute.
Yes. What?
Is this oatmeal day?
National Oatmeal Day. You got it.
No way.
Yes. I'm a big fan of oatmeal. Every morning I make oatmeal and I learned a way to make it so that it takes 7 minutes and doesn't explode in the microwave. So I usually shower, and while the oatmeal is doing its thing, I run upstairs and get dressed, come back down, and it's a finely oiled machine. But I like oatmeal with fruit on it. I know you probably don't because you're against fruit on things. Nothing like this time of year, fresh apple on it. Oh, that's so good.
And dessert.
Raspberry, blueberry, boysenberry from our neighbor, you name it. And also usually some pumpkin seeds.
Interesting.
Yeah, need a little protein with that. So put
Cool.
the pumpkin seeds.
Yeah, I'm not a big oatmeal. It's funny. I think I rarely have oatmeal. The time I remember it, it's interesting how certain situations put you in a place where you do things you might not otherwise do. So when I was early in my career, when I was working at my alma mater, Hamilton, they had this orientation program where you go out in the woods or canoe or hike for
I see where this is going.
4 days and 3 nights. And, one of the things that's easy to make out there is oatmeal. And so when you're in the woods and you don't have a lot of options, oatmeal tastes really, really good for me. And other food. There were other food as well. And then when I got home and I was single and living by myself, I'm like, oh, that was good on that. I'll go get some of that, like ramen and some other things. Not quite the same taste at home as it was in the woods.
No.
Interesting to me. So I am not, while I appreciate oatmeal, and I know a lot of people who do like it, it is not one of those things like you. It's not my everyday breakfast. And I know that people do love it. So good that there is a day to celebrate it.
Yes. So eat your oatmeal today. It's good for your heart. It's good for pre-diabetes. It keeps your blood sugar regulated. There's a whole lot going on. It's nice and fiber. I mean, it's really, if you think of breakfast foods, it's one of the best, probably dollar for value right there. But then when you look at the health benefits, it's really like you can't beat it.
Do you put brown sugar on it?
Rarely.
Okay.
I was for a while putting honey on it, but that was kind of offsetting the value of the pre-diabetic aspects of it. So had to curtail that.
Fair enough.
And oddly, I never buy it when I'm out at a restaurant. I find it just crazy to spend $3-4 for oatmeal at a restaurant. That to me is like charging me $100 for a napkin. I know what their costs are on oatmeal. I know what their effort is.
Well, how much does it cost to buy eggs?
I don't know. I don't buy eggs.
Okay. When you go out for breakfast, what do you have?
Remember the first George Bush, and they took him to the store one day, and he was amazed at how much something really random was. And they're like, "When was the last time you bought something?" And he was like, 40 years.
Okay.
I don't buy eggs because we get eggs from a neighbor who accesses them. So I'm not part of the transaction.
Fair enough. I
What
think you
are
would
they?
be surprised.
What are they? $3-4 a dozen?
I think they're like $1.89,
No way.
$1.90, maybe $3.
No.
So even if it's $3, there's 12 of them, right? In a dozen.
Often.
So what is that? 12 into $3 is
I'm trying to wait. I'm checking your numbers right now as we speak. Oh, wow. You are right. I'm looking at Walmart and they're saying 12 great value large eggs, white eggs, 12 count, $1.53 or 12.8 cents each.
So do you order eggs out at a restaurant?
Eggs Benedict. I'm not a big fan of just eggs. I need them to be covered with some sort of tasty morsel of goodness because I find eggs just very boring. Yeah, we could go on for days, Tom. Look at the time.
You didn't want to get to the fact that the same thoughts you have around oatmeal are similar to probably every other breakfast item that you would get?
Not cereal, though.
Okay.
I will concede that I had no idea that eggs were such an economically great thing.
Okay.
So I learned something today. There's my discovery of the week. What's yours?
Fair enough. All right, we're going to move on since you clearly want to get away from this topic. So we'll move forward. So on Fridays, like we have been doing for a while now, we try to wrap up the conversation from the week, and we try to share our discoveries of the week about the Renegade 4Fs. Do you want to start this off, Bob?
Sure, I would love to.
Okay.
We, for a variety of reasons, connected flexibility and freedom together. And until we had that discussion, we had it off air and then we had it on air. When we had it off air, I was kind of like, yeah, whatever, Tom, sure, that makes sense. As we talked about it on air, I really started to recognize that flexibility is real internal. It's a choice we make, right? You choose to be flexible with tomorrow because you see the weather and go, I'm not going to stress about it. It means more work, but that's the way it goes. I'm in a field where the weather is a factor. The freedom part to me is more of the external things. What does this allow us to do elsewhere in our life? And I like that differentiation. So one, the flexibility to me is an internal, how you look at things and how you approach them. Whereas freedom to me is the external. If I have the freedom, I can leave work today at 4 o'clock and drive to North Carolina if I choose. I could come in late on Monday because my mother has a doctor's appointment and she'd like me to go with her. And managing my time in that way, still knowing what I need to get done and accomplishing it, but knowing that I have flexibility. Just like I was talking to someone yesterday and they manage an office and one of the key people in the office thought they might have COVID. And they had an event scheduled for all the employees this weekend. And this person was like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, I think you have to postpone it. And she's like, well, we were going to let people have off early today because they were prepping or something. And there was a whole list of things that were falling into place because of this. And now because of this, now do I have to have people work late, full day Friday? And that's going to be really difficult for them because they already made plans to be, they're going to leave at 2 o'clock. And I'm like, just let them leave at 2 o'clock. They're professionals. They know what they have to do, right? Will the work get done? Yeah, but some things might slip through cracks. Okay. Manage those, not the whole everything. And I think that person really recognized that their fear for flexibility was affecting the freedom, because when she said that she told the people that they could have that time off because the party was Saturday and they were all doing prep for that, they were all excited. They thought they'd gotten a week's vacation. I'm like, don't ruin that. That's got real value. So it's, as a leader, I think considering flexibility and freedom is even more important, especially today in this job market. where I just, we just talked to someone a week or so ago. I think you were there, and he was saying that he had a person in his office that worked with him, and she was told that after not being in the office any days of the week, she had to be in the office 4 days a week. She didn't like that. So she found another job where they only want her in the office 1 day a week. That's the world that we're in right now. And so flexibility and giving people a sense of freedom probably is really paramount in the employment market right now, because I think it's an intangible that, oh yeah, they're really flexible with me. Every 3 weeks, I have to take my daughter to the orthodontist, and they work around that. That's really valuable. How about you? What did you discover?
Well, it's interesting that so I put a poll up on both LinkedIn and Facebook. Yeah, I know. And
what are they?
The question was, of the 4 Fs, which is the one that you have the least of in your...
I saw that and answered.
Did I say you didn't?
You kind of implied that I didn't know what was going on.
Well, you gave a look like you had no idea what was going on.
I didn't remember it until you said that. Yeah, it's all good.
And what was fascinating is that in both polls, LinkedIn and Facebook, people felt like the thing that was most missing was focus. And the thing that had the least votes, again, the least votes for what they have least of in their work.
Most lacking.
The most lacking was focus. The ones that were
most prevalent
were flexibility and freedom. And it really got me thinking about, I wonder if that's cause and effect. Is that because we feel like we have lots of flexibility and freedom, that sometimes we lose focus because we have the ability to, and I think, there are a lot of people I think who are responding, especially in our Ring of Renegades and also on LinkedIn, are entrepreneurs, small business owners who went into doing that work to find the flexibility and freedom that they didn't have in a corporate space or when they were working for somebody else. And so it's interesting that while they gain the flexibility and freedom, they feel like the thing that is missing most is focus. And so that's an interesting telling story about where some of the challenges lie as you go out on your own or start a small business or you're a leader of a team, is that you have so many things going on that it is hard to focus. So that was kind of my discovery of the week. I thought that was an interesting,
Well, and that's what led you and me to create the program that I talked about earlier, the Find Success the Renegade Way program. See, I got it that time.
Nice.
We saw that there was a need to manage these 4 things and better consider them in how you plan out your day. And you and I have had to struggle at times, each of us, with focus.
Sure.
And with the others as well. And did you say daily?
No, I said I had that yesterday. I was
going to say it's not infrequent. No. Like today is a day, I talk often about days where I don't have a lot on my calendar. I have very little on my calendar. And if I didn't do my day pack this morning, because I couldn't do it last night for some reasons, I was like, I got to get this done, this done, this done. These are the 3 big things I got to get done today. Well, when I blocked the time out, suddenly my wide open calendar, it's got 4.5 hours allocated, and I can look at it now and go, whoa, I got a lot going on today, man. I'm excited.
That's good. I think that's a good piece of it. Here's the other thing that I think I found, which I thought, which again is interesting. And it's a little bit about how you look at things. So I also, on a post earlier in the week, shared the 4 Fs, and someone once said that one of the pieces that was missing was fulfillment. And I got thinking about it. And again, as I was thinking about it, what came to mind was that fulfillment is a result. It's not something necessarily that we control, right? I mean, I guess we control it, but it's more about a reaction to or a feeling about. It was like when we were having the conversation about what was real for us, and and as people who have listened for a while know that it's your knowledge, experience, and perspective creates what's real for you. Someone who was listening to the show thought that empathy would be a part of that. And I said that empathy, I think, is an outcome of what's real for you. Similar with this, is like, I think, sure, is that a vital part of what's real? Yeah, for some people. And just like fulfillment in their job or in their role is something that people find value in. And yet I think it is a result that we can then judge rather than just understand and move forward with, to have the role that we would like to, the role that will provide fulfillment. If we are able to have focus, flexibility, freedom, and fun, there's a good chance that's going to lead to fulfillment.
Yeah, I was going to say, I see the equation: focus plus flexibility plus freedom plus fun equals fulfillment. If you have those four, you should feel fulfilled because you're achieving what you've set out to achieve. You're taking the steps in a strategic way, in a day-by-day way, that if your goal is to, change how people buy eggs, okay, you're taking steps every day. If you achieve that result because you took those steps, then you'll feel fulfilled. I accomplished my goal. And I think I'll feel more fulfilled at the end of the day today because I know those 3 or 4 things I've blocked into my calendar. If they get done, the other stuff doesn't matter. And if they don't get done because the power goes out or the telephone service goes down or there's an emergency that takes me away, I can still feel fulfilled. It may be postponed. It won't be today, but those 3 or 4 things are going to get blocked into Monday or maybe Sunday or Saturday.
Right. Sure. Yeah. I think there's an option to that. And that's the thing. When things happen out of our control, how do we react and how do we move forward? And I think if we
return, I think part of focus is returning to those things.
Sure.
I need to write the proposal today. Well, the power's out, telephone doesn't work, I can't use the internet. And now it's into the void. And then a week later, I never sent him that proposal. Different than, okay, I didn't do it Friday because of all these factors. When can I slot that in? Because it's still important to what I'm trying to achieve.
Sure. Excellent. Anything else you'd like to add as a discovery of the week?
I am good.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks so much for being a part of our show today and this week. We hope that you found some nuggets that can help you, some value in what we shared. Again, if you have some thoughts, please feel free to share them in the comments. Or you can share them in our Ring of Renegades Facebook group if you are not yet a member. Or if you are a member, you can do that. If you're not yet a member, please feel free to go to Facebook, search for Ring of Renegades. And all you have to do to join is ask, because it is a private group. We're creating a space where people come together and figure out how to take their next step along their own unique pathway to success. So with that, we hope that you have a great rest of the day and a great weekend. And we will see you Monday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, for our next edition of Today's Antidote. Have a great day, everyone.
Hey, embrace the renegade in you and eat some oatmeal. Yum. I'm going right now to eat it.
All right. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to Today's Antidote, powered by the Renegade Success Network. The Renegade Success Network helps you confidently create your own unique pathway to success. To learn more about the Renegade Success Network and how you can take your next step, follow us on Twitter, connect on LinkedIn, or join the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. For full details on how you can join our community, go to renegadesuccessnetwork.com. Embrace the renegade in you.